And boom, we're live.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. It's Open Gym Live with Jimmy and Steve, and we have our guest today. It's
Episode 5.
Episode 5. Jimmy was right last week. I was wrong. I forgot our interview with Evan Haynes, who was our teen athlete who went down to the CrossFit Games, or the regionals. So, anyway, we love to, remember in our first episode, we wanted to talk about establishing, giving some recognition to some of our members. Nancy's been with us a long time. So we have Nancy Solomon here to my direct right, and then Debbie Galinas, and Doug Claney. Did I say that right? I always feel like I want to throw extra words like Clancy. I want to throw Doug Clancy in there.
Well, it's really super Doug.
Because you're super fancy, maybe.
Right.
All right.
That's fancy Nancy.
That is fancy Nancy. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce them individually, and we can give a little talk. But before that, a little housekeeping. September 9th.
September 9th. That's next Saturday.
Is that next Saturday? Are you guys
Yes,
going to
it
the
is.
anniversary party?
We're all going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, awesome. So we're celebrating our 9th year. Nancy, Doug, and Debbie will be there. Woo! All right.
Make sure if you RSVP from the email that was sent out, remember to check your spam folder.
What's a spam folder, Jim?
We're not going to get into this again.
Oh, okay. All right. Is that where, like, the emails that go to die?
Right.
All right. Well, don't let your RSVP die. Let us know so we make sure we have enough food and drinks and strippers. I mean, whatever that goes on.
Don't forget group workout at 10 a.m. And then the pig comes in. We're going to have a pig roast. There's going to be crabs here. We'll have drinks.
I heard this pig voluntarily gave its life for our anniversary party, so it was mercy killing.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I'm going to introduce Nancy Solomon, and she's going to introduce herself. Just want to know like how old you are and what you do.
I'm 67, and I have.
You're 67?
I am.
Wow. I would have never said a day over 57.
You missed my birthday. Anyway, I'm 67. I'm a full-time artist. I have a pottery studio in Westchester. I sell to galleries around the country, and then last year I started a textile business. So I'm getting that moving as well.
Cool. How long have you been doing that?
The textile?
Pottery stuff.
Pottery?
Textile stuff's new. And what's the name of your studio?
It's called Claiborne Pottery.
Claiborne Pottery.
I've got a few pieces.
I've got many.
Nancy, one of the things you do and that we like to do with our members is people who have businesses and things like that is we like to highlight those things if they have events. And like, is it once a year or twice a year you have your open house?
I have it once a year, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
All right, so once a year, weekend before Thanksgiving, you open up your studio. We can actually go and see where where the magic happens. It's cool. I remember the first time going in there, and I was like, wow, this is like what you do. This is cool. And then you have things, different items that you make, and they make great gifts. I've bought a number of things. It's funny when I go to other people's houses that are members of the gym, I can always go, oh, there's a Nancy Claiborne Pottery oil thing or a candle holder or picture things and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's cool. All right, so Debbie, you're next.
Okay.
So how old are you, or about, or around?
I'm 51.
All right,
Oh my
nice.
gosh.
51.
51.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I should know that.
Yeah. I'm a chemist, and I work in the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, very fancy.
I'm fancier than Nancy.
Not fancy. Nancy is the fanciest. We've established that. All right, so you work in the pharmaceutical industry. How long have you been doing that?
Probably like 25 years.
Good. Cool. You love it, right?
Love it.
Doug. Super Doug.
So I'm 59 years old, and I also work in the pharmaceutical industry. I've been doing that for about 35 years.
So measurable and repeatable outcomes are definitely part of your, what do you call that, strong points, right? Like you're doing testing and all that kind of stuff.
Our
That's
work
pretty important.
aptitude.
Your work
Yes.
aptitude?
Yes.
All right.
That's what we do.
All right, cool. So we got different people from different walks of life. Nancy, how did you end up finding us at CrossFit?
I was looking for something to do just for the winter. I was a member of the Y for over 20 years, and I really liked it, and I did spin classes and this and that. But because I cycle during the cycling season, I wanted something more strenuous that would keep me in shape shake over the winter so that when you get back on the bike in March or April, you don't feel like a big blow up. So one of my friends who knows Chris Kosha said, "Oh, Chris is going to this gym, CrossFit."
You're the famous comedian
The
who's
famous
sometimes
comedian,
on John
yes,
DeBella
the
show.
one and only.
I've seen him a few times.
So I looked it up. I had not heard of it before. I emailed Jimmy. I
Like, what is
said,
this crap?
I am a postmenopausal 62-year-old
I remember
woman
this email.
with,
You should have it printed out like framed.
with no metabolism. You know.
Okay.
You know, so he had me come in, and I figured I would do it for 3 months, get me through the winter. It was,
Is that what you typically did through your cycling season? Like you would
no, I would go
do
to the,
something else and then
yeah, I would still be at the Y. I would
Okay.
try doing the machines and go to
Now
school.
back then, did we throw you into class, or did we work with
we
you?
did
We
one-on-one,
worked- okay.
you and I, for a bunch of weeks. And
Jimmy, you don't
I
remember
don't.
this?
It was such a long time
well,
ago.
it was a long time ago, right?
It's like 20 years ago.
It feels like it. 5.5.
so you've been with us 5.5 years? That's cool. So you were with us at the very second
I was in
gym.
the second gym, and I really thought, all right, I'm just going to
We're on the third gym.
pay the money, do this for the winter, and then I'll quit. But I was having too much fun, and I
Right.
couldn't quit.
Couldn't quit.
So I quit the Lions.
Can't stop, won't stop. Awesome. So did you feel like it helped your cycling?
Definitely.
Awesome. Like in what ways?
I did a big ride in Virginia after the first, I don't know if it was the first year I was here, and I did an 85-mile mountain climb.
Wow.
Now, there were points when I had to get off and walk,
Sure.
except that I felt great. I was a much stronger cyclist. I think I've peaked at my abilities. I am not fast, but I have a lot of endurance.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
the studies show we can hold on to our aerobic capacity long time into our later years.
I'm
But
just not-
typically it's the
yeah.
strength stuff that we
Yeah.
want to pack on as much muscle as we can because that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So 5.5 years. Now, what about your athletic training like before that? Were you always a cyclist, or
I guess I was cycling ever
were
since.
you like an Olympic athlete and then you decided to take up
Totally,
cycling?
that's what. No, then I gave it up for art. I walked. I mean, I was athletic as a kid. I rode horses and stuff competitively, but
I rode a horse.
You were a jockey?
I did barrel racing and pole vaulting.
Wow.
That's why they call you fancy.
But I
Very
mean, at
fancy.
a very small scale, it was like
Right.
local, where I grew up in
Sure.
upstate New York. And I was all into horses, and I skied, and I was a tomboy.
So you were like active,
Yeah,
but
then
you
I
weren't
got
like
married
some
early
crazy
and
gym rat.
had kids. No, I wasn't a gym rat at all.
Married, had kids.
I had kids, which took up all my time and all my money. And
Well, they'll do that.
they will do that. But I joined the Y and met a bunch of people. Met a bunch of people there who then started the Westchester Cycling.
Oh, so that's why
So
I got into
that's how I
cycling.
got into
Oh,
cycling.
that's cool.
Because if you want to play with your friends, you have to do what they're doing.
You got to do what you got to bring them.
Yeah.
If they're doing marbles, you better learn how to play marbles. Cool.
So if you're just joining us, we've got a Masters crew here. We've got Fancy Nancy. We got Debbie, 4 p.m. Deb. You never know where she's going to
You
be.
never know where she's
And
going
you
to
got
show up.
Super Doug.
What makes you a master? Like, but you're
Great
good,
question.
You're good at what you do, or you're just old?
Well, so to the audience, right? So in the CrossFit Games, they've established what's called a Masters division, but that's been something that's given to any amateur. There's lots of amateur athletic leagues out there, like the Amateur Athletic Union, like the AAU. Typically, anybody 35 and up is considered a Masters athlete. So they just started that in CrossFit. When I started CrossFit, it was 40 and up, 55 and up.
Oh, at first. Okay.
55
Yeah.
and up. And then each year they started adding earlier 5-year age bracket.
It's the
Because the
competitiveness.
competitiveness of it, as the sport grew, they realized, hey,
A
it's not fair for a
22-year-old can't keep up
40-year-old.
with a 40, yeah.
Right, so it's nice to try, but right, it's not really. If we're going to have a competition and consider it a sport, it has to be different. So great question. All right, so how did you find us, Deb?
Through a Groupon.
Oh, that's right. She was one of the original
Groupon.
Groupons.
Oh, remember the
Second
Groupon
gen.
days, Jim?
Yeah, see, Groupon was good for something.
We got Deb out of it. All
I
right.
think we did one Groupon, and that was
We did one
Yeah.
Groupon. I remember
Yeah.
that. So anybody who's out there who's a gym owner or a business owner, Groupon was good to get started, but boy, I'll tell you, one thing it did for us, I think, as a business was it forced us, when we all of a sudden had this influx of people. Because I remember you got on the horn. We sold like a couple hundred
Yeah, it
Groupons,
was a lot.
and people just weren't coming in. And Jimmy's like, "Hey, this thing's about to run out." I said, "We better call them." And I had a full-time job at the time, and so did Jenny, and so does Jim. Still does, Jim Winger. And so you were like the only guy who was like, "All right." You started making calls, and we're like, "Hey, your Groupon's about to run out. You want to? Oh, can I wait? Can I push it back?" We started getting emails and phone calls,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like a couple weekends in a row, we had 20 or 30 people
It was
show up and go,
crazy.
"Hey, we're here to try
I think,
CrossFit."
if anyone out there, well, a lot of people know who Mary Beth is, and Steph Iola. I'm pretty sure they were Grouponers.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, they're still with us today.
That's
Yeah.
always cool.
And there were a few others. I'm just
Yeah.
losing track of who was in that Groupon, but
Yeah, but that was
she
great.
was in the Groupon.
So you did a Groupon, and then what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was at the Y too.
Okay.
I was going to Y and I was running like a lot and
How'd that go for you?
not well. Then I ended up.
What made you see that Groupon and go,
Well,
"Oh,
because I was
CrossFit"?
looking for something because I had to stop running because I found out I have arthritis.
Okay.
So I had to stop running. I tried bicycling, but it just wasn't. I didn't have enough time to put enough into it. Tried swimming. I'm not a good enough swimmer really to work out by swimming.
Okay.
And so my friend saw the group and said, "Hey, let's try this."
Did you have a cool
So-
bathing cap with the flowers and stuff on it?
No,
Oh, okay. All right. I have one of those. Keeps my hair dry.
So I came in with a group on with her and decided to just do it. So I did my on-run with Jimmy.
Yeah.
And
Who'd you do the Groupon with?
Katie,
Oh yeah, she goes to
CrossFit Elation.
yes.
hmm Yeah.
It was Kate and somebody else too. There was another woman.
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Karen came
Yeah.
Oh,
with
cool.
us. Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. And so that
So-
was like how long ago?
That was
second box. as
5
well.
years.
Yeah.
5 years
5
ago.
years ago. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Doug,
Yeah.
Super Doug.
So
how'd you find us?
Debbie, I was training for a marathon at the time. It was about three and a half years ago, and I was
Now, was this your first marathon, or you were like a marathoner? Like
no,
that was your
actually
thing?
it was my second marathon.
Okay.
It was going to be my last marathon, but I was always contributing when Debbie was collecting money for the barbells for boobs. I would go down. We worked together, so I would go down to her office and I would give her a donation for the charity. And she said, "Why don't you try, this gym that I go to?" She didn't even say it was CrossFit. She goes, "Why don't you just try this gym that I go to?" And I said, "Well, I'm training for the marathon." And I wasn't thinking I was going to do it. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to just run all the time because I was used to doing other things.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, after I finish this marathon, I'll check it out." And so I did. So after I finished the marathon, I came down here and I did my on-ramp with you, Steve. I mean, we didn't do a lot of on-ramp. I just think I did 3 sessions.
Yeah, we've evolved over the years, right?
Yeah.
We tried to before we were so scared. We knew people needed some work, but we were so scared of turning people away that
It was expensive.
it was expensive, and we were like, man, we don't want to lose anybody. We were so hungry to get members in, and at the point where we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna cram it all into 3 hours, everything we need, Now we typically do at least 5,
Yeah.
sometimes up to 10, unless we're doing our New You Challenge. By the way, our New You Challenge starts September 18th.
Yeah.
For any of those people who are interested or watching, or you've done it before and you want to do it again, for some reason you need to join the gym. So September 18th.
So
you can send
interviews
us a
are
message.
happening now for the next 3 weeks.
3 weeks. We had interviews this week. I already got some people signing up. Spots go quick.
Yes, they do.
So we did our on-ramp. What'd you think, Doug? You can be honest. You can say anything.
No.
Were you like, who is this
I
guy?
thought it was pretty good, but it's like one of the things that this is. You do a lot of stuff in this gym, and I know part of the on-ramp I was going to do pull-ups, and I had some injuries with this left shoulder doing pull-ups. I had shoulder separations, like chronic, in my 20s and 30s. And so even just hanging from the pull-up bar was like, well, it was like
Hard.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. So anyway, but everything that was here.
Nancy said it's still hard.
It's
in case
still-
that's what she said.
Well, but it's kind of fun hard, right? It's
Yeah,
kind
right.
of
That's what he said.
When I can do it, it's fun. Keep going.
No, but here it's like old school things. You do push-ups and sit-ups and box jumps and you climb ropes, and so that kind of stuff
And now ring muscle ups.
was appealing. Well, yeah, and so, but with it, I was a little apprehensive because of the Olympic lifting part of it.
Right.
You know, I never worked out with a barbell.
Right. I think a lot of people see that. They see
Right.
these people throwing around, or they see the CrossFit Games, or they see these intense videos, and they think like that's all we do. You know, there's a process
Right.
leading us up to that. Right.
Well, that was kind of like, I wasn't even interested in that.
Right.
So I said, well, it comes with the whole CrossFit thing, so, you know, I'll see what it's like. And actually, it grows on you because you see the benefit.
Yeah.
And you get better at it, too. It's like, so at first, I was a little bit awkward with it and
Sure.
didn't really like it that much, but you get better at it, and then you see the benefit, and then you start to like it. So,
It's
Yeah.
hard to I think that's one of the things that makes CrossFit so great is when you're not in charge of your own programming, you are forced to do the things that, you know, you're not good at. It's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to do stuff they're not good at, right? We tend to hang out in the lane where we're really good, like running or whatever we're doing or cycling, and then it forces us to kind of get out of our comfort zone and explore those things. And then we find out, hey, I can get better at it. So I think that's awesome. Well, that's great, guys. So, anything else?
no, that's it.
That was it. So
I
that's how you
think
got
one of
started.
the biggest misconceptions.
So you started here at Gym 3 then?
I started here at Gym 3.
All right.
Yeah, start here. But I'll tell you what, you keep with it though. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but you do things you thought you'd never ever do.
Right.
So
And that's rewarding.
very rewarding, and it's kind of like, you know, so
Exploring
it's,
the human
it's
potential.
well, you know, obviously it's never too late to start, and then you do things that.
So how old were you when you actually started? You've been with us like how long?
So I was 3 years, and so I just started when I was like 56.
56. So you're about 56, right? And you're like, hey, I'm going to try out. I'm going to check out this CrossFit. So that's awesome. So it's never too late, guys.
So there's a big misconception out there that, you know, CrossFit, you start getting older, arthritis, you know, it's dangerous. I can't, you know, should I do that?
Everybody here said they had a different issue,
Yeah.
right? That was like, this other stuff I couldn't do. Who would have thought, like, if we said, hey, you can CrossFit or go swimming, or CrossFit and go cycling, most people are going to lean towards the thing that doesn't scare them as much. Like, you know, hey, I can hop on a bicycle, but right, to get the real benefit out of it, to get healthy, to get strong, to get fit,
Yeah.
you know, that's a sport, really. Right? So Nancy was doing that for some fitness, but for fun, to hang out with your friends. I think people take up running for a lot of the same reasons, right? Strap on a pair of sneakers and I go. So the idea of getting trained to do something and then we can do those other things better. You know, we can run and do all that stuff now. Cool. So, biggest benefits that you've seen since you've been doing CrossFit or here with us, just in general. Nancy, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, several things. One is I was diagnosed with osteoporosis when I was 50,
50.
and which is already a long time ago. And I was on some medication for a year, and I had no side effects from it, but I don't like having to take something.
Sure.
So I was looking it up and thinking, like, this thing hasn't even been around that long. Who knows what the long-term effects of it are? So I got off
You mean the medication?
the medication, right. So, anyway, after my first 2 years of CrossFit, I had a bone scan, and I had an 8.2% increase in bone density. And I had one 3 years later, earlier this summer, and I had a 10% increase.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Now, it's not everywhere. They do different parts
Sure.
of you. It's primarily spinal, but I thought that was
That's,
good.
which is the most important.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only as strong as your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they said I have like a 15% chance of like a hip fracture, but they don't know that I climbed the rope, so my chances are probably higher. But
We won't tell. We won't tell.
We don't want to fall.
Only if you fall from the
only
top.
if you fall, right? So
Climbing doesn't hurt you. Letting go quickly
Yeah.
at a great height.
But so that was one benefit. I find that it clears my head mentally in ways that nothing but cycling does, because I have the kind of brain that does not shut up. It's just like, do this, do that, you're forgetting this, don't
I think that's
do
probably part of your creative process too. As an artist,
Oh, yeah.
like all those things are
There's
flowing
just,
around.
and also when you have your own business, as you guys know, there's, you have your fingers in a million different pies, exactly.
That's what she said.
And there's just so much to
You're
do.
allowed to laugh.
I'm waiting for something funny.
Oh. All right.
So that helps me to just like turn off all the noise in my head. And it's the same thing on a bike ride. The first 15 minutes of any ride, I'm thinking, I don't really have time for this. I should be in the studio doing blah, blah, blah. And then I'm totally focused. And
Nice.
3 or 4 hours later, I come back and I just feel great. And then I go back to work.
Awesome. Deb, how about you? What's like your big knockout thing that
Definitely
was like,
stress relief.
Yeah.
It's been a great group of friends. Oh yeah, Matt here.
awesome? So you develop some relationships.
Mhm.
Community's a very big part of what we do here, sure.
And now Nicole, my daughter.
Right, your
She's
daughter
9.
does Olympic lifting,
She's
right?
Well,
Right.
imagine if you started when you
I
were
wish I was
13 years old.
Yeah, I mean, she's
however old Nicole is.
well, she just turned 10,
So she's 10.
so she's been doing it for like a year and a half, and she's completely comfortable.
Yeah.
At the gym, around the weights.
Yeah, she's getting really good too. It's really
Yeah.
nice. So we have a kids program here. So not only do we have some seasoned athletes, but we have a kids program. Ryan Marcinician. I always mess that
It's
up.
turned more into a girls' barbell club
Yeah.
in the past 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, he has a pack of girls down there that are really strong.
Strong.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
He's
A lot more
amazing.
than me.
Cool. Great. Doug, how about you? What's like the big benefit? I mean, there's lots of things.
Well, there's
obviously,
lots
but-
of things that, it's a great CrossFit, workout type of thing. So you get stronger, your mobility increases, your cardio capacity increases. But a lot of it, to that point, is you have the best thing about this over and above other gyms is that you have the coaches who do great programming. And not only that, the classes are of a size where essentially you've got the coach's eyes on you almost every time you're doing something, especially with the lifting part of the program. So they're watching you, making sure you do everything safe, and they're watching you to make sure you improve your execution with whatever you're doing and giving you tips so that you can improve. And so that with the coaches and along with, the other members, they're always there, watching you and helping you out and having a good time.
Yeah, I think it's great when we get to a point where, as a coach, I can be with somebody who's less experienced, needing a little more attention, and then I know I have guys like you who've been with us, 3 or 5 years, and you don't have to have a degree in exercise physiology to say, hey, listen, you're not getting your butt down low enough, or hey, this really helped me. And I think that's also part of the community that some people might shy away from. Like, I don't want you coaching somebody else, but if you can do something a little better than somebody else, you can tell them about the road you were on. I think that's how I look at being a coach. I don't look at like I'm some kind of expert. I remember what it was like when I could only do so much weight, or my mobility sucked, or whatever the thing is, and I remember these are the things that helped me. And so let me share them with you. I think that's kind of like where we're at. So that's very cool.
Can I add something to that?
Absolutely. No.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's your next question.
No, go ahead. We got time.
I just want to say that, you mentioned price before. And to me, it felt expensive until I realized what a phenomenal program it was, and then it felt totally worth it. And to me, it's like having a personal coach. And a lot of people will hire a personal coach and come to their house and do stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't even know what that costs. But it's so worth it. Even in a class, like Doug said, somebody has their eye on it.
Yeah, I think like today I put up a post about modification. We had 6 different people in here at lunch, and 4 of them, they all needed different things to do for the workout. Some people didn't feel comfortable deadlifting today for whatever reason. So you know what? Is it time to look at is it your technique? No, maybe I just need to stay away from deadlifting today. And that's okay. What am I going to do instead? So I really think that we've we've got that part kind of nailed down. When people have an issue, that we're going to find something else so you get a good workout session in, and still working on the things that we need to work on.
Yeah, and for newer people who haven't experienced CrossFit yet, they might go to Planet Fitness where it's $10 a month. They might go to the Y where it's $50 a month. I don't know what they price
nobody's
out now.
watching there, right?
But when you come into a CrossFit gym, some people are close to $200 a month, and it's a little overwhelming at first. But then they find out they're actually going to get a great workout, and they're actually going to get
you're not just spinning your wheels or wasting your time.
And friends.
We're actually doing functional things.
You can't buy friends.
Community. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, sometimes you can.
Sometimes you can. Absolutely.
Let's not go there.
And it's never boring.
It's never
No.
boring.
Never.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, we have about 4 minutes left. What I want you to do is think about, like, if you had somebody sitting across on the other side of the internet there, and they were they were in your shoes. They were 50-something or 60-something. They were thinking about, you know what, I'm bored, or I need to work out, I need to get in shape. What would you say to that person?
You have nothing to lose by trying it. If I could do it, you could do it.
I like that. Deb, how about you?
I've always liked weightlifting, but I never knew how to do it. So for me, I just like coming in and being told what to do. And it's great, and I'm getting stronger, and so.
Yeah, I think it's great. We get a lot of women, I think, get empowered because in a typical gym, the meatheads are over on one side, girls are over here doing classes or machines, and we, we celebrate women getting strong.
Yeah,
and CrossFit allows that to happen. It's a new phenomenon.
Lots of female meatheads.
It's a lot. It's a healthy.
I'm just
It's a healthy body image here.
Yeah.
I've never ever heard another woman say, "Oh, I want to tone this, or I want to tone that." Everyone talks about getting strong, and I like that. And I like my daughter being here to hear that message as well.
CrossFit has almost introduced a new breed of women lifters, because before going to a normal gym,
there are clothing.
You don't go
companies
back
now.
into the weightlifting area because all the guys look at you like you're crazy. And it's intimidating.
There are clothing companies coming out with that's their business model. They are catering to women like you who get strong, and we don't, not little waifs.
Yeah.
We want to be strong, be able to pick stuff up. Like Nancy, I know, like when you're a potter, like you get deliveries of clay and stuff. I remember you always talking about that kind of stuff.
50-pound boxes.
Right. So you got to lift a 50-pound box,
20 of them.
and put it wherever it needs to go. And what do you do to get stronger at that? So that's cool. Doug, how about you?
Well, I would say if you thought about it, then take the next step and just, give CrossFit Westchester a call, or do a New You program. So
New programs are pretty cool.
New You programs, that's talking about a cost-effective way to really get involved with, or see what the CrossFit program's about.
All right. So we got 3 people, and they said, "What are you waiting for?
Let's go.
Get in here. We're having a good time already.
Come on over."
So our 2 ways of going about coming into the gym are you send us a message, go on our website, hit a link that says, "Hey, I want to try out CrossFit." We'll come in and bring you in for an introductory session. Or if you see one of our Facebook or Instagram ads right now, we're running for the New You Challenge. And come in and schedule, click on the link and schedule an interview. If you're going to do one-on-one personal training to get into class, it's faster. You get one-on-one. You get to pick your days and times, so you're paying for some convenience. You're also paying for that quality and the fastest way to get that information. If price is an option and you're not sure, we get that 6-week program. It's $250 for 6 weeks. It's like, that's it, $14 a class. Can't beat that. So that you have 2 options of doing it either in the group. The only difference is with the group setting, you got to stick to certain days and times that we have those classes.
Personal training is more expensive, but you are getting that personalized attention at specific days and times that you want. So
absolutely. So guys, we're going to see you September 9th at the anniversary party.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait to have that. It's year number 9.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we have a tentative date for Barbells for Boobs.
Oh, okay.
Good.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Saturday, November 11th.
All right. So Barbells for Boobs is a CrossFit-wide charity event that goes towards supporting mammography in action, I believe is the name of it. So that workout that we do that day, it's like a friendly charity competition. We're doing the workout Grace. So Grace is 30 clean and jerks for time. There's an RX division and scale. And then, of course, we have masters divisions as well. It's come in and do 30 clean and jerks as fast as you can. Doug, do you remember what's your Grace time?
like 6 minutes and 28 seconds.
All right. So is that RX? That 135?
Woo!
That's
well,
awesome.
no, RX for Masters is just 115.
115.
All right. So 115. Deb, remember what your grace time is? 30 clean and jerks per time.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like 2
under.
minutes.
That was last year was like 3 because it was scaled. But I did it RX, but it was under 5. I think it was like 4 something.
So you're going to do it RX again. You're not going to scale. You're gonna...
Well, I did RX
Yeah.
for Masters last year.
Oh, okay, cool. What was the weight for that? For the
I think
people
it
who don't
was
know.
73.
Yeah.
73 pounds.
Yeah.
30 times in how long? 3 minutes?
3 minutes and something.
Awesome. Nancy, have you ever done grace?
I did it once, and I decided that I would
She'll never do it
rather
again.
contribute to other people and donate prizes, because I'm real uncomfortable in a venue where everybody's doing this and somebody's like
Sure.
watching, and I would just rather
Yeah, that's okay.
just do classes and not do the competitive thing.
Awesome.
That's fine.
Right? So we got a little something for everybody.
Yeah. You
All
don't
right,
have
guys.
to compete. Yeah.
Okay.
Just do it for fun.
You don't have to, but you can come in and share
Yeah.
on your friends. All right, cool.
Well, thanks for Fancy Nancy, 4 p.m. Deb,
4 p.m. Deb.
and Super Doug for coming in for our Masters panel.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming in, guys.
That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't
All
forget,
right.
if you miss it here, you can watch it again. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our CrossFit Westchester YouTube
And
channel.
make sure you like this and share this.
Yeah,
on
like
your
it and
Facebook.
share it. That
Like it and
always
share
helps.
it.
All right, guys, till next Thursday.